I want to make some coasters for some friends of ours. We recently visited them. They were great hosts, and I noticed they really didn't have any coasters. They were using napkins on their table, so I thought coasters would be a good thing. So, how I do this is I search images. So, I'm just going to Google, and they live in Holland, Michigan. So, Google Holland, Michigan. We can see a few things that I've already searched on here. There's a lighthouse in Holland, Michigan. It looks like this. And so what I did was I went through and just kind of looked at the different ones. Many times I'll go into tools and I'll change the size because I want a larger image. This actually is a good looking image. I like that one. If I actually click image, save image. We'll save that off. Another place that we went to was Captain Sundae. Oh, here's a good picture of Captain Sundae himself. Let's see if this is considered a larger image. There we go. So we can save this image as well. So save image as. Call it Captain Sundae. What else did we do? We went and saw the grain mill. It's kind of a neat thing. Let's see, what do we have here for larger images? Oh, this is a good one. I think that one will work nicely as a coaster. So let's save that one. Oh, what else did we do? Let's see, we went to the beach. We did puzzles. The puzzles had nothing to do with Holland, Michigan. That might be an interesting one. Oh, here we go. I like this one. Let's save this one. While we were there, we went to a concert. We went to a Harry Connick Jr. concert. Now we'll grab one like this. There's a better one that I found earlier. The other image I grabbed a picture from Google Maps. I did a street view of their house. So we won't actually show you their house. Let's see. We'll just find a neighborhood. But this is essentially how you do this. You just find a street, and an address that you want. Go over here. So let's say it was this house. It is not. It's just a house similar to that. And I just press the Windows key and Shift and then the letter S. And then that will let me grab a chunk of what's on the screen. I can then save that as an image. So that's how I did that. Within LightBurn, we just need to import our images. We'll do them one at a time. So we will import. We'll start with we'll do this one. Okay. That's a bit big. We need something that's going to fit on a tile. So I'm going to use the square tool. I'll hold the shift key while I drag that down so that it makes an actual real-life square. And I'm going to put this on one of my tool layers. I don't need this to actually print out. And we'll resize this. And I go 110 square. And then I offset this, so instead of 55 for the center, I go 54. What that does is it puts this 1 millimeter off my corner. And so when I fill this, the 108 by 108 tile then will be fully inside of this square plus a little bit of border. So we'll take this windmill and we'll bring it over, and I'll take its width, which is its smaller dimension. I'll make that 110. And we'll position it. Why is that going left and right? I'll keep it right. So we'll put the windmill about there. It looks a little dark, so I'm going to go in, right click on the image and say Adjust Image. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to brighten it up just a little bit. So what I want to do is get rid of those clouds and make that more of a white background. A little more. Okay, so this lighter image should burn fairly well, so I'll go ahead and click OK. Grab the image, Shift, select the square. Oh, here we go. Apply mask to image. And what that'll do is that square now is a mask for the image, so it's only going to do what's inside of that square. And so that'll make a good coaster. So I can just go ahead and save this. Essentially, we do the same thing for each of the images that we have. So I'll do it for the Harry Connick, I'll do it for Captain Sundae, for the lighthouse and this puzzle piece, and then there's also their house that I did. And then once those are done, I do want to make sure that this is a white tile for etching. This is an image. So I'll select my ceramic tile white image, and I'll apply that to the layer. We just take a quick look. For my particular laser, I use 1200 millimeters per minute at 85% power. I'm doing this at 350 dpi, which is finer than what the laser can do, but that gives me a little bit of overlap on each of the burns, and it works out well for this. And I'm using a 90-degree scan angle. And you'll see that those got transferred here, so I've got the exact same parameters. If we press the Alt key and press the letter P, it's the same as clicking the preview up here. We can see what this looks like. You can run through. It's going to take a minute and 8 seconds approximately to burn. It should turn out nicely. The Alt P, I can also just come up here and click the preview icon. It gets me to the same place. Once all these images are set up within LightBurn, I can go ahead and send them to the laser. Let's take a quick high-speed look at these coasters burning. Now that the tiles have gone through the laser, we need to get that white paint cleaned up. To do that, we'll just use some lacquer thinner. I have some in this little bottle. We'll just pour it on each one of the tiles, let the paint kind of dissolve in, and scrape it off. We'll wipe it a little bit with a towel, and just in general get that cleaned off. Get down to the glazing on the white tiles. We'll just let that sit for a second. I don't know if you can see it over here, but it's starting to bubble up. There we go. So once it does that, the paint just comes right off. Yeah, you should be able to see that. It just comes right off the white. So I'll just take this, and the first thing I'll do is I'll use the scraper, and I'll just scrape this stuff right off. Yeah, there's not much on this. That zoomed in here. That's the problem with doing just lines versus fill. The fill on this would have been ludicrous the other direction too. I might try it, because this definitely is not going to be an acceptable tile. You can't really see what it is. So we'll just set that to the side. Move on to another one. This is another one I'm not quite sure because there's so much white on it. And there's quite a bit of black here. We'll see what it does when it cleans up. We'll just kind of get an idea. It still kind of has that look down in here, so it might be okay. We'll see. We'll clean that one up a little bit more later. Right now we're just trying to get a bulk of the paint off. What else am I questioning? Let's try Harry. See how he turns out. I'm worried that the detail in his face is going to not be good enough once we clean the tile. Should have maybe played around with the contrast on this a little bit more. Again, it'll do. Well, we know what it is. We lost some of the detail here. It didn't come out quite as well as I had hoped there, but we can see what it is. This lighthouse, I lightened up too much, it looks like. I lost too much detail. Might do this one over. We just lost way too much detail on this one. Can't see the flagpole, hardly can see the flag. The actual light part of the lighthouse is pretty much gone. The detail on the side is gone. Here we have our cleaned up tiles. We've got Harry, we've got the windmill, we've got the puzzle, we've got Captain Sundae, we've got the house, and the lighthouse. Now we redid these two because the way I did this originally just didn't work out well at all. If you remember it, it was pretty much a blank tile. It wasn't completely blank, but it was just lines, and it we can get a closer look at that. It just really not much was left of that, which I was kind of worried about. I don't like doing it that way with tiles. And with the lighthouse, I just made too many adjustments to it. I made it too light, and so we compare these side by side. This one turned out much better. You can actually see the flag up on top there. The flagpole kind of shows up, and you've got detail in the lighthouse itself. So this turned out much better. This was with really no adjustment on the picture at all, so I really should have just left it alone. If you've watched any of these tile videos, you know what the next step is. We need to put a cork back on each one of those, and then we'll go throw that in the laser real quick and put the CNC logo on the back of that. Back to the laser. For those of you that have seen this before, I have a mark here where I'll line up the laser and then I'll get the tiles set in there according to that. So let's get the laser turned on. Okay, so we'll just bring this down. This doesn't have to be an exact alignment, just an approximation. And then this little backwards L, take the tiles and we get the essentially the bottom, this corner, lined up in there. And then the way I have this set up is I can do 4 of these at a time. Let's get these tiles set up. The exhaust fan going. I'll just cover the lid up here a little bit so we can see what's going on in there. And I'll just go ahead and call up that project. Now this project is set up to either do 1 or 2 or 4 or 3. You can turn layers on and off and get the appropriate ones on. Since I'm doing 4, I'll leave all of them on. We'll just go ahead and burn those real quick. That certainly was a fun project, making these coasters. We've got the windmill, we've got Harry, we've got the puzzle one, it's kind of a little abstracty looking thing. We've got the lighthouse, we've got Captain Sundae, and then of course their house, our friends, where we stayed. So hopefully they enjoy these coasters and are able to put them to good use. Got to figure out how to get those shipped to them. Have to make a custom box probably, a little bit of padding in there, and send it through the mail. Shouldn't be too bad. Anyway, if you like this video, please go think about clicking the like button, and if you like the content that we produce, think about subscribing, and you'll be notified when we come out with new content. Until next time, enjoy doing your CNC at home projects. Oops.